hello! It's been a while.
Hello,
And I say this
darlings.
every time. Yes, hello, darlings. It's us. It's the fabulous duo. We've been reunited because we both decided that it has been far too long since we hung out, and this will be hilarious because I'm so asexual and aromantic that playing a gay guy is still a challenge for me.
Okay,
But we
but the
decided to go on a
thing
date.
is,
It'll be fine.
the thing is, literally all you have to do is be yourself, and DJ Moves will be falling over himself. So it's easy to get in your head about this sort of thing, but do know, you could pop a squat and DJ Moves would be like Will Smith pose.
It's fine. The engineer possesses me on a regular basis, so I'm just gonna let him do all the hard work. Speaking of hard work, I am also halving the amount of work I have to do because this is another game where audience participation is encouraged. So I will be asking the gallery for suggestions during this game. We'll get to that. Don't you worry, kids. You just sit back and relax until I ask. So, it's been a couple of crazy weeks. As always, time is an illusion in these games. I've no idea how many weeks it is since anything happened. But these two have decided that it's time to, like, go on a little me time, a little us time date.
A little
do you
me time, even, darling.
little me time, yeah. Question, do you think DJ Moves would have been the one to bring this up first, or Engie?
So, fascinating question. Because, I don't know if you remember the stuff that I've mentioned about DJ Moves past, but
Yes.
DJ Moves has had a record for a little bit like heartbreaking and relationships that like end dramatically, and then like a couple months later they're actually seen like chatting with each other and it's fine. It was just a big dramatic breakup for the headlines. He's a lot better at playing media audience than people give him credit for, because his music videos are sort of so sterilized, which again is something he's been working with because he's been talking with his beloved. But before they really started talking with each other, it was very much sort of like flat, everything's happy. And then the rest of the media circus he actually sort of had on the wrapped around his fin.
Okay, so very formative dating before now.
Yes. And the thing is, he doesn't want to do that with Engie, so he's actually been incredibly hands-off about initiating things, but been incredibly receptive when things are initiated. So anytime that Engie says, hey, let's spend time together, or hey, I'm doing this thing and you happen to be in the area, Moves jumps on, but he's very careful not to, like, pressure, because he knows that he's a lot, and there's probably some gay repression in there. I don't know. Brokeback Mountain was his favorite movie, so let that tell you something.
Yeah, I'm still never gonna get over that. It's so sweet. That actually works for what I have planned, because I'm basically giving Snail a mini game, so Snail can just sit and be the player. My brain was like hee hee hoo hoo, so that's fine. But I didn't want to be, hogging all of the active, like. But that's fine.
Hog it, whole hog it.
I will hug it. Because Engie is a very multifaceted person, and he's likewise been kind of repressing certain sides of himself, especially since his previous partner passed away. Which, he's actually a very romantic person. It's not usually the absolute emphasis of his movies, but yeah, he does romance. He does romantic gestures, and he's been, like, getting back into that, and it's nice because it's opening up a door that he had firmly locked shut with many bolts and chains. So it's very nice, and he's also kind of a bit nervous about it because he doesn't want to blow it. This is kind of an important deal, and he's enjoying it, and he wants to embrace that. Anyway, so he's planned a nice little secret getaway, which of course is not as secret as he'd hoped, because certain people have somehow got wind of it. However, we find ourselves in a romantic situation. He has managed to, in all of his dabblings with the sea train and building things, he has had to do a whole Eisenberg Brunel arc of learning about boats, which he hasn't really before. But he's taken to the task, and he has enjoyed mucking about in boats. And he has got a nice little rowboat. He's found a little, sort of like a, what's it called?
Cove? Alleyway?
No, it's a little river. It's overgrown with mangroves, and it's like off the Mississippi. Bayou. Bayou! Thank you! Not Bijou, that's a fucking movie. Anyway, I'm on the movie brain, that's it. Bayou!
You're doing amazing, darling. Don't let me stop you.
I'm sorry, I'm about as nervous as he is. Anyway, it's dusk, and so we've got this nice soft lighting, and there's all the little fireflies. Make a real quick, I'm gonna make us both do a constitution roll just to warm up, because we're using real dice today, baby! Extra ASMR.
That's a 19. Let me double check what moves pluses are.
Oh my god. I have a +7, but I rolled a 2, so I got a 9, which is not great. That's good. That's good for the comedy.
Hang on. I've made mistakes. It's still a 19, so it's probably still amazing, but...
Yeah, 19 is absolutely a pass. This is to see how you're dealing with the whole mosquito situation. So you're fine. For whatever reason, penguin feathers or flesh seem to be particularly difficult for the mozzies to get through. They just kind of crumple up against it and bounce off. Engie is a little bit too delicious. He's having a bit of an irritating time, and you occasionally hear it. Because he's swatted one again, and yeah, he tends to overdo things like that. So yeah, he's trying to be suave and romantic, but the insects are kind of winning. Meanwhile, in the background, behind the rushes, we hear a little bit of a rustle, and we see 3 pairs of different sort of cartoon eyeballs in the darkness, which are watching these 2 lovers who are totally unaware at present of the presence of 3 Yakuza. Now, these Yakuza are not especially intelligent. Not many Yakuza are, but these 3 are very ambitious, and they have somehow managed to tail these 2 and follow them.
Yeah, we're gonna really get good with the box.
Yeah, if we get these 3, if we get these 2, 2, 3.
And this guy is like counting on his fingers, trying to add up to 2.
If we get these guys, then the boss is gonna be so pleased. We'll get a promotion, and we definitely won't get squirted with the horrible pistol of his.
And the third is just like a silent mook. He's a gigantic... What animal is he, Gallery? Because you get to decide what these people look like. Camel! Oh my god, that's beautiful. Yeah, so we've got a big-ass Yakuza camel with a teeny tiny bowler hat. There's a Highland cow. Do you want the Highland cow, Snail? And an anteater.
Anteater was suggested as the other one. I think this sort of voice really goes with an anteater.
That's true. Highland Cow is kind of, it's whatever I was doing with this, which is almost verging on Irish, but it's really not, actually.
So, and it's hard to count to 2 when you've got hooves. It's like you've got the 1, 2, but then how do you keep counting? Yeah, I like the anteater. I like it.
This is why I like you. You understand my suffering.
So yeah, these 3, a camel, an anteater, and a Highland cow, are, God bless their souls, they're gonna try and take out these 2 while they're smooching and mooching. Speaking of which, the engineer has decided, on the quiet, somehow, in amongst all of the other stuff that's been going on, he's been taking a few lessons from Larry, and he's got a banjo. It's just a normal-ass banjo, it's not Larry's super cool one. And he very stutteringly sort of like pulls it out from underneath his seat and is like, I know singing is more your sort of thing, but you've kind of inspired me to try some new things, and I thought maybe, would you like me to try serenading you?
darling, you learned serenading for me? Oh, stars, I couldn't stop you if I tried, but I certainly don't want to. And Mooves sort of, like, snuggles up a little bit and then, like, sees that Engie is a little less practiced with the banjo, so sort of, like, leans back, but, like, excitedly. But he's like, I probably shouldn't be pressed up against him because I might distract him from the banjoing.
Yeah, Engie looks like if you did ask him to not, he probably would take you up on this. He was like, this is such a great idea, it's gonna be so romantic. And now he's actually in the situation, he's like, you know, he's almost got stage fright, which takes him back to, like, he feels very young when he's around DJ Mooves, and this is the youngest he's felt for a long time because he feels so nervous. And I will roll performance to see how he's doing with this banjo.
Also, I'm gonna cry. That's so fucking cute.
Yeah, I asked permission from uni. He's had some bonding hours with Larry, who was like, are you sure you want to learn from me? And like, yes, the answer is absolutely yes. So let's see how the performance is. Okay, do I add my ridiculous bonus? Because I do have one since the devil's bargain was made against
You
my
made a
minus
bargain
my-
with the devil. You use that bonus every time it comes up.
Okay, fair enough. So 12 plus 18 is a ludicrous number, so I think that's 30. So he's like all nervous, and then he just does this insane little riff to warm up. So you've had this stuttering, blushing, shy guy, and he's just absolutely tearing shit up immediately on the banjo.
He's like reminiscent of The Devil Went Down to Georgia, except it's romantic rather than just pure speed. But it's like all finger plucking, and his fingers are sort of blurred.
Yeah. That's insane. I didn't expect to roll that well. And even though that was a 12, that's still very good. Okay. But this also explains why my character has a huge disadvantage in this fight. In fact, I'm giving Engineer a status ailment, which is lovestruck. So he is absolutely blind to basically what's happening around him, unless someone gets a hit on him. And here's the game. So the Engineer is going to start singing, and Mooves will then be aware that someone is trying to stop this performance. And of course, you DJ Mooves want this to keep happening because it's lovely and you're having a beautiful evening. So you don't even want to distract your beloved. The game is, can you manage to fend off the Yakuza for 4 rounds to let Engineer finish his song?
Oh my fucking god, I'm sure gonna try.
Okay, let's roll initiative.
Holy fucking shit. Well, now I'm worried. Now I'm like, what if I don't do it? What if I fuck up?
You'll be fine.
I
You'll
got
be
7.
fine.
Let me see. 7 plus...
19, alright.
Where is it? Plus 1. That's 8 for me.
8. Okay, well, great news. These guys are rolling not very well. Okay, that guy did well. Okay, so Engineer rolled 19, and that's plus
Of course
4,
he did.
so he's definitely going first. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, let's write out the order here. So it's going to be Engie, then it's going to be the Anteater, then it's going to be Love DJ Mooves, then it's the Highland Cow. I can't believe I'm writing this. What an order of initiative this is. And then it's the Camel right at the back. Of course it is. This actually works so well. So I have rolled up some sort of very mediocre sheets for these poor guys, but hopefully they'll still be interesting enough. The further interest from the gallery, which is going to be provided, is they are going to suggest things that these Yakuza can do to attack, and I encourage thinking very much outside of the box. I want to see Warner Brothers shit. I want to see Wile E. Coyote shenanigans in this house. Alright? Are you all excited?
Don't disappoint me, gallery.
I will somehow make up what attack things they have on the fly, but you know, if any of you have suggestions for that, I will absolutely take it, because my brain is only so big.
Fuck,
Also,
I need to
I have
review
the
what spells I
consequence.
have. Oh my god.
Well, you look at your spells while the engineer strums a couple of introductory chords and stutteringly begins to sing. Do you ken at all how much I really love you? The point of fact is that I really do. There's a sentimental side to me that falters at the sight of you, and there's really only one thing I can do. That really was faltering, because I'm out of breath already. So that's verse 1. We're off at the races. So the engineer's turn is that. That's exactly what he's done. He's not doing anything else. And the next person in initiative is the Anteater. What's the Anteater gonna do?
Yeah, what am I gonna do, guys? What am I gonna do? Mysterious voices that live inside my head that only just appeared. What am I gonna do? Come on.
Command Swarm! That's genius! Oh my god, the Anteater is gonna summon the mosquitoes. Question, they have 2 targets. Is it an area attack, or are they gonna just direct them at one person? If so, who?
Direct them at Mooves, please, please, please. I don't want the engineer to instantly get attacked, please.
Do whatever you want!
Listen to me, do it to me. You know you wanna.
I'm gonna bend and break the rules a little bit, because the whole point is that Mooves is gonna try and prevent these things. So if you manage to come up with something genius that would prevent this, I will let you attempt.
Okay. They said moves! Always go for the penguin first.
Assassinated by mosquitoes. Hang on, Command Swarm. Is that actually a thing? It sounds like it is. I am gonna look it up real quick.
Take your time. In the meantime, I need you to understand that, like, DJ Mooves obviously has the sunglasses, and obviously sometimes you can see his little beady eyes behind them. When Engie started singing, the glasses, like, shot up and started floating above his eyebrows. And his eyes are absolutely doing the sparkle thing.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, I'm gonna make something up because searching on Google is coming up with absolute bullshit. I feel like this would definitely be something that could be countered with enough imagination. So I'm gonna roll to attack, and if it beats your DC, then you will have, like, basically you will have a reaction. You will be allowed to react to this attack, and if you succeed in abusing me, you will thwart the mozzies. Okay. Wow, that's a bad roll. I rolled a 3, and even plus this person's bonus, which would probably be, I don't know, wisdom? It feels like a druidic spell. Basically, this Anteater fucks up real bad, and you get to decide what happens. Does the swarm turn on the Anteater by accident? I feel like that could happen.
I mean, here's what I think happens. Because I have access to speak with animals as a Frankenolly. So I think what happens is you see the swarm and they all start coming around Mooves, and then Mooves sort of like claps in delight and is like, oh, this is so wonderful. I don't know if I'd ever be able to get him to do this again if I asked. And the swarm sort of like all stops and sort of like looks at the engineer, looks at Mooves, who now definitely has noticed them and is like staring at them directly, looks at the oblivious engineer, and then you see one of the mosquitoes sort of like wringing their hands, buzz over to Mooves' ear and go pss, 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 pss. And Mooves is like, what? Are you saying that? Pss, pss, pss. And the mosquito's like, and that is how they get diverted right back over to the person who summoned them. Because
That's
I think
very funny.
I think Mooves is both alerted by the mosquitoes and is like, this is a date? I don't know why you thought that you could interrupt a date. You really should have a talk with the person who tried to tell you to do this. And the mosquitoes are like,
Yeah, I guess we really should, yeah.
and then instead of having a talk, they just start wailing on.
That's very, very funny. Just like immediate U-turn. Yeah, like DJ Moves really is having a sort of Disney princess situation here.
With the mosquitoes, but you know.
Yeah, why not? We've seen Enchanted. You can do it with rats and pigeons. Why not mosquitoes? Okay, so option here, like it is DJ Moves' turn, but I don't know how you want to play this. You might just want to keep doing reactions to what the enemies are doing, rather than, you know, actively do something. But you might want to do something actively right now.
I think for round 1, I want to focus on reactions, because Moves probably still isn't, like... Moves probably thinks, oh, that was a one-off, somebody's trying to ruin this. He doesn't yet realize, A, there's multiple people, and B, they're trying to actively ruin this rather than just a one-off gag.
Yeah, they're trying to actively ruin you. So it's more than spoiling your date. Speaking of which, it's the Highland Cow's turn. So, any ideas from the gallery for the Highland Cow? I do have backup things. I have character sheets with, like, generic weapons if we need to resort to that. But I like to
We
give
never
people...
need to resort to that. Come on.
One of them has a giant fan that blows the boat towards alligator-infested waters and/or a waterfall. That's... Holy shit! Okay, yeah, sure, a giant fan. I mean, there is a spell which is wind. It's something like that. You just summon a big old gust. So the Highland Cow is now magical. Good job that I have a sheet that has magical abilities. That's fine. So yeah, this isn't something that has a DC or anything. That's really clever. So I'm gonna go with alligators because I feel like that's really fun.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like alligators are much more morally ambiguous than the mosquitoes somehow. Like we've seen The Princess and the Frog, right? Fireflies, mosquitoes, they're basically the same thing. Anyway, okay. We are being blown. The boat is being blown. The engineer completely clueless as he's singing into some form of danger, but probably alligators. What are you gonna do about it, DJ Moves?
Okay, so the thing about Speak with Animals is it lasts for an hour. So for the rest of time, DJ Moves can speak to all of the animals.
Also, I'm just going to make it a little more difficult because I am now going to introduce rolling persuasion if you want to persuade these alligators. But also, you're going to have to do something about the fact that you're talking whilst your lover boy is trying to sing to you.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, the first one was whispering, so that doesn't alert him at all.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I'll give you that for free, it's fine.
Cool.
We didn't establish this rule, so yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Dang it, I sunk all of my stuff into charisma!
It's okay.
So I can't exactly do, like, dexterous stuff unless I roll really well.
I mean, I'm not disallowing you from speaking to them. You can, but I will make you roll persuasion. But also, there are different things that you can do to redirect the boat. So it's entirely up to you. We've got environmental things around you, like there are rocks, there's moss, there's branches hanging over you, long drapey leaves and Spanish moss on the branches of the trees. It's a Twilight bio-romantic situation, you know.
Can I argue that Moves sees that we're moving towards the alligators, because of this fan, and, the boat turns around so that Moves is now looking and seeing, oh, there's 3 of these guys, and there's a big fan. So I think what he is going to try to do is he is going to try and, let me see, use his dagger specifically to hit the off switch of the fan.
I love it. Roll to hit.
Okay, d20 plus 5, come on. Oh, that's a 4! That's only, 4 plus 5, that's only a 9.
I'm gonna say that you do not hit the button, but the handle of your knife conks the Highland Cow in the middle of his forehead, so now he's pissed off, though it didn't do any damage.
Good. I accept that. Moves is now immediately like, dagger eyes. Like, oh, this is more than just a one-off thing. Oh, it's on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you did not succeed. The boat is continuing towards the alligators. Do you want to use a bonus move or your movement?
Let me see. Spell.
I love that someone's just summarized the game for a newcomer as Engie too gay to notice sabotage, which is exactly what is happening.
Yes, that is correct, 100%.
The subtitle of it is.
Let me think.
Okay.
I think when luck is on your side, you have to go with luck. I am going to roll on the hammer space table without intentionally pulling out something and see what I can do with whatever comes up on the hammer space table.
I love that. Yay! Hammer space time.
It's a 5.
I've got that table up here somewhere. Where is it? Well, I've got the generic one. You might have a special.
It is the generic
one. It's a 3-foot long Q-tip. That's actually potentially useful. Okay. You've got a 3-foot long Q-tip for some reason.
Okay, can I argue that Mooves, like, sticks it behind him,
Yep.
sneakily, and instead of using it to hit a crocodile, he, like, sort of presses against the snout of the crocodile, and then uses the momentum that was the fan to angle away from the rest of the crocodiles. Like, just, he's going one way with the fan, he shoves against the crocodile's nose, and that sort of moves him past all the rest of them.
Right, in order to see how successful this is, I want you to roll either dexterity or strength, depending on which of those two you feel he would be using the most.
Strength, 100%. He is less dexterous than you would think he would be, but he is beefier than you think he is.
Gondola time. Let's see how the beef boy does.
9, 10, 11.
11 is not enough to basically get away from the alligators. You have also just poinked one on the nose. So I'm going to write that down because that will potentially come to bite you in the ass, literally or otherwise. But you have deflected from the main group, so you're not heading directly into the nest of alligators which I had provided. Also, just to make sure that we can use both terms, it's a mixed family of crocodiles and alligators.
Of course.
At a wedding last year, it was very nice, a whole meeting of clans sort of thing, and now they both hang out in the Mississippi River. Okay, so that's what's happening. You have a slightly nettled crocodile in a group of alligators and crocodiles, and you are slightly getting away from them, but not adequately. You know, I can't give you that with that roll.
Yeah, it was low. I'm surprised he gave me anything.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that uses up the bonus and action, definitely, for moving. Right. It is now the mute camel's turn, who is definitely the I mean, they're like the Three Stooges, these characters, but this is the stoogiest of the stooges. What is the camel going to do to sabotage this situation? Let's see. Liz and Zzz are typing. So that'll be good. This game is just, it's a lovely day in the bio and you're a horrible trio of Yakuza. Time to ruin a date. Throw your sandwich lunch into the boat to bait the crocs to jump into the boat. Can I give Liz a point of inspiration? I know.
I think what that means... I mean, first of all, I don't encourage it. I think you must. But second of all, I think what that point of inspiration means is that it can be sent along any 3 of the Yakuza. Liz gets to decide when.
Okay, the gallery has an inspiration point. Use it wisely. You have definitely come up with something brilliant here. So the camel, I'm not even gonna make them throw like an aim thing. That's just so fucking funny. The camel just sort of goes, gets out his sandwich and throws it into the boat. And now the crocodiles are annoyed and have a motive. So they are starting to mobilize. In fact, what I ought to do is roll how many of the crocodiles have noticed. So
Question.
I think...
Before you do that, can I try a dex check to, as soon as the sandwich is thrown in, throw it right into the mouth, specifically of the crocodile that I poinked?
Absolutely, you can do that. Would you like to use your giant Q-tip to use as a baseball bat?
I don't know if that's subtle enough. I think he's still he's still pretending that the Q-tip is like a gondola thing.
Yeah.
So I think he literally just uses his flipper, like leans forward lovingly, and then like flips the sandwich out of the way so that he can rest his elbow on the boat and his flipper on his forehead. He's trying very hard to be very subtle.
Okay, sleight of hand. Roll me sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Let me see.
You're pulling a card. Let's see it happen.
Okay, that's 15 plus 1, 16?
Yeah, that'll do. That's absolutely fine. It's... You know, you kind of bump your elbow a bit as you come into land, but again, Engineer is blissfully unaware, and he just thinks he's winning. He's winning the game of wooing, and he's going to
Which is normal to want and possible to achieve.
Okay, you have managed to sate one of the crocodiles. So that was the one that you pissed off, so that's a really good move. The others are in the vicinity, so they are mildly aware.
Yeah, and to be fair to them, if somebody, like, smacked my sister in the face and then gave her $20, I would still be ready to murder.
Yeah. Although, you know, depending on your sister, maybe she wouldn't be annoyed anymore. Oh, man. Okay, perfect. Great. Good job. The alligators on that roll aren't too annoyed at the moment, but the Yakuza do have them to manipulate, so that will probably come back. Oh, there's a pair of pigeons cooing outside there nuzzling up. That's really sweet. Oh, it's such a romantic day.
They heard that there were gay birds and were like, but what about us gay birds?
What about us gay birds? It is the 1st of June on the recording, by the way, so this is like the
Happy
perfect
Pride
gay
Month!
The month of gay! Yay! Alright, it's the engineer's turn again. I've got to somehow regain enough oxygen to sing. So take my hand in your hand and lead me down this merry road. I'll help you understand just what a heavy debt you rode. I know I'm larger than life and bring you trouble and strife, but you've a habit of biting off much more than you can chew. And he follows up the last bit with a little on the guitar banjo, the guitar.
Yeah, it's a guitar.
A guitar. And that's his turn, and he's having a lovely time. This is a perfect evening. Nothing is going wrong. How could it possibly? It's the anteater's turn. Are there any shouts of genius from the audience, or shall I do my job as a DM and come up with something for them to do?
You never have to do your job as a DM. Listen to the devil inside your head. Make the audience do it instead.
I mean, I'm always happy to do that.
Devil on your shoulder, devil on your other shoulder. Who needs an angel? I sort of like flicked them away years ago. I don't need anything like that. I've got 2 of them now. 2 devils.
Oh yeah, hang on. I've got to take damage because the mosquitoes went at this guy, didn't they? The anteater is not looking very happy. It's not terrible damage, it's just super annoying.
Very itchy.
Wind up. I don't know what that word is. But
Far. Set wind up. Farana? Farana?
Oh! Yeah,
Piranha?
Okay, wind up piranha. to sink the boat. Yeah, why not? They work for the jester. He would absolutely make clockwork piranha fish. That's definitely something that is supplied. They have like the laughing joke wind-up teeth instead of regular piranha teeth. It's a whole thing. Okay, that's really good. Again, I like the theming with this guy. This has a sort of swarm feeling. I think for this, DJ Mooves, you're gonna have to roll me perception to see if you even see this, because it will be under the water. Or you might be able to hear it. You might hear the clockwork mechanism. I will give that to.
12 plus 2. That's 14.
I'm just gonna roll a DC to make it up. Yeah, okay, that came out as 13. You make it just about. You see the telltale wake of these little chittery-chattery fish and the ominous gurgle of teeth beneath. What are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do? I mean, I really lucked out, when I pulled out this Q-tip, because this is gonna be so useful and so easy to conceal now that I pretended it's like a gondola to help me steer. I think kind of what I want to do is I kind of want to like raise it up and then jam it as far down the wind-up piranha's throat as possible in order to make sure that, like, as it bites, it literally cannot do anything useful, and it sort of just becomes like a paddle on my Q-tip.
Okay, right, how do we do this? I mean, yeah, roll to attack. I feel like that's a strength thing, just from what you described. Like a blunt force object thing
14.
Going on, so yeah.
14 plus
50 plus strength
plus
and
5.
If you have okay, so it's
19.
Improvised weapon. 19. Yeah, definitely you hit. Definitely you hit. Roll damage. I have a feeling that this thing will only have like D6 hit points. Yeah, 5 hit points.
Okay. Oh frick! Right, I gotta roll damage.
Oh. Roll damage. Yes. Oh god. I feel like it's like. Oh man, there's rules for unspecialized.
Do you want to make it like a dagger's worth of hit points?
Make it a dagger's. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
4 plus 2 is 6.
Oh my god, you beat it like by 1 hit point. That's perfect.
You
obliterate the wind-up piranha, and it makes the usual sort of smashing clock sound effect with the poing, like the spring flying off, but it's all kind of muted by the water. So yeah, engineer does not notice.
Question.
Very good job. Yeah.
Can I make it so that as the piranha semi-explodes, its teeth are still locked in, so that now my Q-tip is even more effective as a paddle, please?
Why the fuck not?
Yay!
That's really funny and could come in useful for you in the future. Anyway, it's the Highland Cow's turn. So we already have something being suggested for the Highland Cow. Which one are we going for? Right, Liz has an idea, Obby has an idea. Who it gonna be? Who? There's 2 more rounds to go, so I mean, that's really good.
Okay, listen.
We'll go
Liz
with
first, Obby next round.
Obby next round. Okay, so Liz just responded with a screenshot of the Wikipedia article for caber toss. And of course, we're in a forest, there's lots of trees, of course we can do a caber toss. So, like, the Highland Cow kind of had disappeared for a moment with the whole sandwich and piranha fish. And then in the background, there's one of the trees is moving, which, you know, DJ Mooves, by your large experience with trees, is not conventional behavior for a tree, even in a Toonkind forest, especially when it starts tipping forwards towards you. I'm going to roll to attack because I feel like that will require some precision. What would you think? Is a 15 a hit or a miss?
It's a hit.
Like, and it's particularly funny from your point of view because there's this shadow that forms over the engineer and he's still singing and plucking away on the banjo. And there's just this foreshortening, like perspective of this tree coming down. What do you do?
So, first of all, I need you to know that DJ Mooves does do a sort of Tom and Jerry reaction of like, wah! but then immediately goes, "You're singing, darling, keep singing!" to try and, like, emphasize, like, nothing is wrong, I was just shocked by how good at singing you are.
Yes.
Okay, with a question. Since it's a 15 compared to a 13, would you say that that's an extremely accurate toss, or one if, like, DJ Mooves was so compelled that he flung himself at the engineer and knocked him over in a tackle hug, and then immediately sort of brushed himself off, could possibly be avoided?
The thing is, with tackling the engineer, you're gonna stop the song. So,
Dang it. Dang.
try to not interrupt the song. However, I will say that's given me an idea, which is that you could throw your bulk, because, you know, DJ Mooves has bulk, penguins be that, against the side of the ship, and the impetus could well swing the boat out of the road of this incoming tree trunk.
Yeah, I think that's the best that I've got at the moment. Strength?
You also have your giant Q-tip, which is a sentence I'm never going to get tired of saying, and various bardic spells. It's entirely up to you what you do.
Yeah, all of my bardic spells are not as useful here as I wish they were. They will be when we introduce more things, but at the moment I think they're out of range of everything, and also they're pretty mad, to be fair.
Also, it's a tree fall, so that needs addressing.
Okay, would that be strength plus any advantage that my paddle gives me?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, I'll say you can somehow propel yourself even more sideways using the pole as sort of extra push leverage. So yeah, roll strength plus
Athletics? I feel like that's athletics, yeah.
Let's see, strength plus athletics, so that's 2 plus 3. That's
2 plus 3.
That's a nat 20.
Oh, you did.
That's a nat 20. That picture. Hang on. I must have evidence. I can't fake this.
I believe you.
I do need evidence. It's important.
Okay. We will edit the video to have this single image in because I need it. It's very important.
I can't believe it was for something so minuscule. Ah!
No way, man. That's a really good idea because yeah, that was a tree. That was a whole ass tree, which could definitely have put a dampener on the feeling of the evening. While Snail is retrieving her evidence of their truth-telling, which I already believe, which is fine, I will describe that the tree plummets forward and somehow, just within the nick of time, DJ Mooves produces effectively a sideways long pole jump thing, the Olympic sport. Pole jump. Pole vault? That's it. Some combination of those words. I know sports. Shut up. And propels the boat out of the way. And there's this beautiful rainbow that results from the splash of the tree hitting the water, and all these sparkles fly through the air. And it's a sort of, you know, just avoided death, but also provided some really beautiful aesthetics. So it actually made it much more romantic and gay than it was previously. You got rainbows and you got sparkles. And the engineer is still completely unaware. Mind you, he's fairly used to things nearly landing on him and then not. See Buster Keaton. Alright. Next person in the order is DJ Mooves. So now that you're definitely aware that there's 3 people who are probably trying to kill you, are you gonna do anything about that? Or are you just gonna keep doing the response to what they're doing to you, which is absolutely fine?
I mean, I think I need to do something. So... Okay. Bit of a long shot, but I'm gonna try it. There is a 4th level spell called Charm Monster.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
And what I think I want to do is I want to specifically cast it without speaking. So what it's going to be is There's gonna be this beautiful shot, it's gonna land, the water will go everywhere, and then DJ Mooves will make eye contact with the alligator he first poked, and then fed the sandwich, and then, lean over the water, again with his Q-tip still securely in hand, he's not letting go of that, and then very quickly make Toon sign over the side of the boat, like, these guys are trying to ruin gay pride. Can you believe these guys? Can you do me a real favor? And he is specifically using Charm Monster while he's doing the signing.
You know what, usually that wouldn't work for an animal. I don't give a shit. This is a monstrous crocodile alligator. It's absolutely, I don't care. It's funny as fuck. Go for it. Do you need to roll anything, or does that just happen? Is it like a wisdom save?
It has to make a wisdom save over a 15. And I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm praying it doesn't.
I'm going to just quickly look up if a crocodile even has stats in D&D, because it's amazing what they do. Oh my goodness, thank you, Wild. That's like immediately the gallery has already found it for me. Wisdom plus 0, that's actually what I was going to default to if I couldn't find it.
Please work, please work, please work, please work, please work, please work. Please work.
I mean...
Please work. It got over 15.
No, it was a 2.
Yes!
It was a 2.
Yes! We are now
crocodile.
friends! We're besties! The crocodile is also gay!
That's 2. Oh my god. How long does that even last for?
It lasts for 1 hour?
God, you have a pet. You have a baby alligator crocodile. Congratulations. Yeah, that crocodile is gonna do whatever you tell it to, and I'm guessing it's gonna go straight at whoever you're sending it to. Like,
I mean,
the
homophobic people.
Homophobic people. Alright! Okay. It's going at him. I will ask you to pick one so that, I know who to remove from the initiative, because I feel like that person is out of here.
I mean...
Alligator. Alligator! Oh my god, this is even better.
I think... Okay, so the anteater's kind of smarmy, but he's already been hit. The Highland cow just tried to sink us. I think that's who the gator is after, because, that was also really kind of dangerous, man. You're also messing with the bayou, and ain't nobody messing with the bayou on their watch.
I mean, if anything has been proven to be effective against the engineer, it's gravity. So, yeah, absolutely, sending this alligator after the Highland cow is enough to make the Highland cow think that maybe he's gonna hit the Highlands. So he takes one look at this gigantic thing that's heading towards him and is just like, nope. It's just like, bye, it's not even my turn in initiative, I'm gone now, that's my movement, I'm out. And you hear a sort of distant which, the engineer sort of pauses mid-twang, saying, I didn't know there were cows in this forest, and then continues strumming away. It is now the camel's turn. Someone said they had an idea for the camel. Me. It's hobby.
Liz, Highland cow, more like Byland cow.
The camel is gonna down the entire contents of a triple X bottle, that's 3 X's in a row, in one swig, and then try to acid spit the boat. Yes! I love the energy that's coming out of the guy. I knew you guys would love being allowed to go completely crazy with this shit. Okay, is acid spit a D&D spell? I don't know. It's D&D. There's so many things. Alright, I'm just gonna make it into sort of an acid splash thing. Okay, so it is going to be a 2-hit roll. I'm just gonna roll to decide who it's aiming at first. Uh-oh, it's Engie. Okay, no! So this camel is gonna try and spit at Engie. Oh wait, you said the boat. The boat does have a DC, actually. I did come up with that because I knew you'd be attacking the boat. So let's roll to see if we hit the boat. Yeah, I mean, that's an 18. Yeah, that acid is incoming. You have a sort of slow-mo glob of viscous camel spit acid. And it's just, you know, in stark contrast to the rainbows and the watery splash sparkles, it's just like, you don't want that in your gay scene. That's like, no, absolutely not the right vibe. What is DJ Mooves gonna do? Also, if it does hit the boat, like, that doesn't mean it's immediately gonna sink, but it's going to have a hole in it, so, no, it can still be funny.
Okay, I think what he's going to do is he's going to, like, you see the slow-mo going, and it's like a slow-mo reaction, and then the engineer is still in slow-mo, but Mooves starts reacting, like, in normal time. And what he does is he, like, does another shock, looks at the Q-tip, it's not a pulling motion. It's like he gets the tip of the other side of the Q-tip out by, like, twisting so that he can see the piranha, looks at the fact that it's such a good paddle, and I think he flings it so that he sacrifices the paddle to save the boat, because that was his advantage, and he's willing to give it up to save the boat.
Oh wow, that's really cool. I like it. Like, the two projectiles will cancel each other out. Okay, this is gonna be dexterity for sure. You've got to roll to hit this projectile, which is in midair. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a little trickier to hit than, say, the Yakuza, who don't have much in the way of AC. But yeah, this is epic and very cool.
18 plus.
Right.
5?
That was... Yeah, sure, absolutely. I was making the DC at 17, so you definitely do that. There's a sort of interstellar black hole explosion in the background as positive matter meets negative matter, and the two just sort of, yeah, literally cancel each other out. The acid is eaten up by it eating up the Q-tip with a piranha on the bottom. It's just sort of like equilibrium has been met, and it's neither of you succeed or fail. It's just sort of negated. And the camel sort of looks at what happens and then nods very slowly in a sort of respectful, wow, yeah, that was really cool. Because it was very impressive. You are now down to 2 Yakuza and only one more verse and one more chorus. Do you realize how much I really needed to be able just to hold you every day? All those bitter things I said and did were part of me that fled and hid from what was always love in every way. So take my hand in your hand and lead me down this merry road. I'll help you understand just what a heavy debt you owed. I know you're larger than life and brought me trouble and strife, but I've a habit of biting off much more than I can chew. I've stuck those together, so that's fine. That reduces 1 round of combat for us. That saves me some singing as well. Hey! Okay. It is now the Anteater's turn. The Anteater is looking kind of salty and itchy, but goddamn, it's determined to make something happen. It's also kind of pissed off.
I'm determined to finally get at this little stupid oaf with his big fat tummy and his stupid little gay romance and making us think that we're homophobic. We're not doing it because you're gay. We're doing it because we're evil.
The camel nods emphatically several times, opens up the inside of his pinstripe waistcoat, and it's covered in gay pride enamel pins. Closes the waistcoat. You go ahead. Hang on. Is anybody in the gallery got an idea for the Anteater? Okay, Obby's got a suggestion. Anybody else? I'll just read this one first. The Anteater's turn is to toss his lunge into the boat. He's gonna climb up a tree hanging over the river, ready to dump an extra large jar of fire ants.
'Cause he's an anteater. Obby, you're a genius.
However, you said climb a tree, so I'm gonna make him climb a tree, which is acrobatics. And I do actually have the stats for that. Let's see how this goes. I mean, alright! Yeah, okay. I mean, the Anteater, it's a 19, so the Anteater is much more practiced at climbing trees than a real-life Anteater. There's the big claws, big meaty claws of it. And, yep, you DJ Mooves, you see the glint of glass and tiny, angry, very red objects inside this large glass jar, which is about to be dropped. on your boat, which is full of fire ants. And, buddy, having been to Costa Rica for a month, you don't want that.
I don't. I think I have a reaction, though. So, one of his level 3 spells is motivational speech. Let's see. You address allies, staff, or innocent bystanders to exhort and inspire them to greatness, whether they have anything excited to be about or not. I think. So, the goal is, for duration, you gain 5 temporary hit points and have advantage on wisdom saving throws. But I think the other thing that Mooves is going to try and do is he's going to try and compel the anteater to be hungry rather than angry. So that instead of fighting, he will eat the magnificent lunch that he has right before him that he was just gonna really waste on them. And I think, again, he's trying really hard to be subtle. So I think, sort of, in a lyric, in rhyme, he's like, well, I don't feel much full, dear. I see there's quite a lull, dear, in the ways that I return your praise. After this, I'm quite hungry, dear. You see, I'm having fun, dear, and afterward we eat for days.
That was lovely. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
I didn't have as much time to prepare as Mod did. Don't laugh at me.
You did great. No, I'm laughing out of joy. That was so sweet. Oh, bless you. Okay, so are you going to do this to persuade, or is it like, basically, are you rolling to persuade, or am I, as the anteater, rolling sort of like a wisdom save to prevent myself from being persuaded?
You know what? Motivational speech is actually not quite flavored the way I want it. I think it's actually just persuasion. I think it's straight up persuasion.
Bobby has rightfully pointed out that after sick improv skills, you definitely get an inspiration point. You were very, very clever and brave for doing that.
Oh, stop! I'll get a big head. Let's see. 13 plus 10, 23?
I think that'll do it. I mean, someone suggested persuasion versus a wit save. I'm gonna tell you, that's not possible to, I mean, like, even if I roll a 20, this guy has a -2 in wisdom, so it's not gonna happen.
Anteater was hungry, not angry. He just got them confused.
The anteater, so how does this go? What's the scene?
Well, I think what happens is the anteater, again, he's so angry, and he's so itchy, and he has all these fire ants, and he's gonna drop them, and then they're both singing together, and it's this really nice duet, and he really was hungry, and this was his lunch. The camel already sacrificed his lunch, but he brought his favorite. He loves the fire ants. They're so spicy on his tongue, and it would be so simple to... He literally just sits down on the branch and starts munching away, and, like, makes a sad head shake at the camel, like, I'm not disappointed if you continue, but I can't do it, man. I'm too weak.
Oh, it's kind of like you just gave up, sat down, and you're now eating popcorn, watching a romantic movie.
Literally, yes.
Oh, that's so lovely. Okay, so that was the anteater's turn and your response to it. So you have the choice of actively having a turn now, or you can wait and see what the camel does.
I think all that moves... What I want Mooves to do is I want him to take off his brilliant red coat and drape it over the engineer to try and give him, like, enough of a break that he can outlast if the camel manages to hit him with something. But also the engineer's actively playing. Can I argue that if Mooves just drifts the... just lays the coat over the engineer's shoulders, that could work, even though he's playing?
Yes! It's a cartoon, man. It's like the Disney cloak physics. It doesn't have to make sense. It just looks great. And anyway, like, you've been singing, so yeah, while DJ Mooves is singing effectively, like, the engineer has just been accompanying it, and, he's just so in love. He has no eyes with which to sparkle dopily, but, like, absolutely, there's this sort
You
of
can see the smile, you can see the star shines, everybody knows what's happening.
He's absolutely just devoted to you, and he's wanted an opportunity to show you. And this is going so great. It's a perfect night. Nothing bad is even happening. What a wonderful evening it is. Okay.
This never happens to me.
Yeah. Okay. That, I feel, is very persuasive on the camel. So I'm actually going to roll, I've got a D2, but I'll do a D6, and then, like, the upper half is chaotic evil, and then the lower half is chaotic good. Let's see what happens. Oh, boo, it's a 5. Okay, the camel sits there and he's watching. He's just like, it's very romantic. But I got a job to do. And he's gonna pull out a bazooka. It's my turn, everybody. So, yeah, out of the tiny hat that he's pulled off and was like wiping his tear, he withdraws a bazooka, and he is going to fire it. Let's see if it hits.
I mean, audience, to be fair, you cannot be mad because he's already proven he's an ally with the pins.
I mean, great news, everybody. He absolutely missed. The bazooka goes wide. So, Snail, what happens?
I know exactly what happens. Mooves sees the bazooka coming in. He doesn't have control of the boat, so it's way short of the target. It's not actually going to hurt them. So what he does is he casts pyrotechnics to disguise the explosion of the bazooka and instead make it enchanting fireworks from the same origin. So as the wave sort of like rides the boat along, Engie just thinks that it's the fireworks, and they're all, of course, different shades of Engie, like the way that the different colors he becomes when he's expressing himself. Like, in the middle, there's sort of that gray that he gets when he's truly depressed, but everything else is lit up by the way he looks when he's, like, acting in movies, the way he, the color he becomes when he's talking to his kids versus his grandkids versus his adopted kids, and it's literally just an explosion of a color palette that entirely encompasses the person he's so obsessed with that he tried really, really hard to hide the fight from.
That is so perfect, and I know how this fight finishes now, because the explosion went past the boat. The explosion happens, a wave rises the boat up, and it heads towards the camel. The boat and the bayou land on the camel, and as the weight and momentum of this whole thing happens, there's the beautiful fireworks and the splash and everything, but effectively what happens is the boat ends up on the side in the mud on top of this camel who is out of the fight. That's definitely a KO'd camel. But you, DJ Mooves, also end up on top of the engineer, who's slightly dazed and out of breath, but manages to repeat, "Do you ken at all how much I really love you? The point of fact is that I really do. There's a sentimental side to me that falters at the sight of you. There's really only one thing I can do." And he kisses you. And it's a very good kiss.
It's such a good kiss!
This was the gayest possible FPS we could have started the month of June with, and I'm very proud of it. Good job, everybody! Community effort!
Well
really
done, guys! Also, Mod, naturally, I'm doing the thing because the conductor is never willing to actually bow for themselves, so I'm making them do it. This was all Mod, and I just got to play it, and we all got to participate in it, but Mod obviously is incredible, and I know that I've already sort of, like, done it when I was willing to take on, like, Taffy's story, but I'm going to do the same thing to you, where all you have to do is play the fun mini game. This is a threat.
Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna argue, that's very kind of you, but also let's just live in the moment, because this was superb. Thank you everybody who contributed and listened in. That made it just so much better. You guys are such a delight. I'm so glad I've got to know so many people via these very silly games, and I love them, and I love you.
I love you too!
I think that's it. I don't have any more. That was like the perfect ending.
We got the good ending, fam.
Ending, yeah!
Alright, everybody. Thanks for coming. Bye!
My longest, yeah, boy! Oh, thank you, good night.